A new funk order is upon you.
Here we kizzle.
Malfunction is one hit bullshit, silly reality nitwits. Nah, we gon' funk again. This ain't that pop that you used to, that manufactured doo-doo stuck in some fake move. We bring you funk for the trunk, back to the big bang, the loose change. And you know we play with it's parliamentary, all this E-funk love.
RaiderFanRadio.Vegas with you. Yes. Raiders! Although we only happy because we're Raider fans. I mean, the team got its ass kicked, so, we're doing that for you.
Yeah, they did.
Anyway, another
painful Monday.
Yeah, painful Monday, right? Or painful Sunday. Anyway, with all of you again, it's good to be. It is Raider Fan Radio Vegas, show number 4. And as you can see, Mr. Stoner Dude isn't with us tonight, but we shouting him out. He's
with us in spirit.
He's with us in spirit. We got his picture right back here on the drums.
It's his birthday.
It's his birthday, too. Happy birthday, Stone. And he's out kicking it, doing his thing, making a video with one of his bands. And I hope it's Raiderhead, because they're supposed to be doing an updated version of Viva Las Vegas. Okay. So, and we want to thank everybody last week that saw the video, have commented and sent in emails and what have you, and all of you out there that have checked in with us and complimented us on the show last week. A great show, directed and produced by yours truly, the beautiful black hole Steph. Aww. She's the one that hooked that up and did a great job.
Thank you.
With your production and all that, made us look real good. And so, like we said, we tightening the show up, getting back in the rhythm of what we, as Stone would say, have been doing for 20 years.
Yeah.
So
this is what we do.
This is what we do.
And it's part of, that's part of Raider Fan Radio from the beginning. I mean, we've all of us have been in on the edits and the production, right, and the website and right, all of that, and still to be true. And right now, the Empress is hooking all the website of RaiderFanRadio.Vegas.
Shout out to the Empress here in Vegas.
Shout out to the Empress.
Right on.
And we'll be doing some more introductions of her later, especially once you actually see her work.
Yeah, the website's coming. We got caught up in, all you folks is out there dealing in, the internet industry, the tech industry, and self-business and all that. You know what I'm saying? You deal with different people that are web builders and stuff like that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We went through a source, tried to get this cat, and he turned out not to be able to relate to where we're coming from with how we want the website constructed. So it's very interactive for you, the nation out there, and all the people that'll be checking in, and just, two different schemes of thought. What do they call it in the entertainment industry? We had creative differences.
Yes. We'll just put it that way.
Yeah, creative differences. So I know we keep touting the website. It is coming. So, just stick and stay. Meanwhile, like and subscribe below.
First to know.
Make sure you comment. And, of course, you can email us at RaiderFanRadio@gmail.com. And also, you can hit us at TrueRaiderNation@Yahoo. All right?
That's right.
Hit us with your comments. Hit us with your trolls. Hit us with your criticisms. Hit us with your ideas.
And hit us with your phone calls. You could do a video. You could do a phone call and actually send that call in. Particularly the Raider Nation. If you want to put a shout out, if you want to say something on air, that's the perfect way to do it. And we'll make sure it gets on air so that everybody hears the nation speak.
That's real. That's real. Let your voice be heard. We're all with that here. Anyway, like we said, show 4 for us. Week, what the hell was it? 7 or 8. 7 over the Legion, 6,
no,
5, 4, 6, 3, whatever it is. Anyway, we're 3-3. Yeah, 6 for us because we're 3-3. Came out of that game 500. We're going to get to that, break all that down, man. In a very, revealing loss. The Raiders on Sunday playing against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we got Tommy tucked. But teams got to tighten up. They got to play a little bigger. But anyway, before we get all of that, we have to reach back about a week or so ago as it relates to Steph and I being natives of Oakland, California, a great legend in the world of sports and particularly Major League Baseball, and a legend and a great figure what would you call it? A great figure of example.
Yeah.
When we were growing up in Oakland of taking care of business, being self-made, and this was off the field and off from his profession as a Major League Baseball broadcaster. But we're talking about the late, great Hall of Famer, Joe Morgan. As you all know, who starred with the Cincinnati Reds. Those of you that are old enough to remember, like us, go back to the 70s, the Big Red Machine with Johnny Bench and Pete Rose and what have you. Got a few World Series in the 70s. Played with the Houston Astros, also the Oakland A's, San Francisco Giants, and became a Major League broadcaster for over 15 years, I think it was, beginning in the early 90s. And in Oakland, he was a pillar of the community, a lot of charitable work, supported youth sports leagues, particularly baseball, and owned a number of Wendy's franchises in the city, and was just an entrepreneur and one of those early figures for us, Generation X, coming up, of the example that our parents and elders were telling us about. This is who you can model yourself after when you get out in the world and try to establish yourself, and how to be self-made, how to be able to build business and be able to own assets for yourself in the business and entrepreneurial world. And so Joe Morgan was that figure for us. Met him a number of times, and also had the great pleasure of, when I was younger, a friend of mine, I think, was either dating one of his daughters or a friend of his daughters. Steph grew up in the hills of Oakland, California, and went to school at Skyline High School, directly across the street from where he lived.
And his daughter went to our rival school at the time, which was a Catholic school, and that is Bishop O'Dowd.
Bishop O'Dowd, O'Dowd down the road.
Bishop O'Dowd. Lisa. And so shout out to Lisa and all of the family. To Joe Morgan, our condolences. Definitely, we do dedicate this show to him.
Yes, we do.
And I know a lot of baseball players from Oakland that growing up, the kids that are growing up, remember his influence also, because he was definitely involved in youth sports. And a lot of the Oakland Athletics and a lot of the baseball players and football players that put roots here in Oakland and had businesses in Oakland definitely left their mark, and on a lot of our generation as well as the generation behind us. So that was the boomers slowly going out, and for him to, they're 77 years old. That's still pretty young, in my book. But he did have some kind of neurological disease that he was battling towards the end of his life, which I had no idea of. I'm sure a lot of people didn't, because that's that generation. They keep that low. You never know what's really going on with them unless you dig deep and really try to figure out, and maybe follow them. They're not going to tell you what's up. So, and he was all of them, very proud man and very successful. And we just wish his family the best.
Yeah, and we miss him. And on a personal note, back to, a friend of mine either dating one of his daughters or a friend of their daughter, we had met them somewhere out on one of our afternoon treks around the city trying to pick up women. And subsequently...
Classic Oakland city.
My partner Paul, he ended up meeting the sister that he met that was connected with them. Again, I kind of forget, it was over 30-something years ago. But we ended up subsequently, for about a week or so, he was trying to peck that baby. And she was, like I said, in the circle of his daughter. And so one occasion, we ended up at their home across the street from Skyline High on Skyline Boulevard. And to this day, I have been in mansions in Beverly Hills, fat oceanfront property in Marin County and San Diego. I've been to big penthouses and cool-ass cribs back east in New York and what have you. Been to flat places in Florida, with cool-ass layouts in their crib, and seen a lot of sunken living rooms. His house, to this day, had the rawest ass, coolest ass sunken living room I ever
all
seen.
All the way around.
Yeah.
With the view of the valley.
Right. You open up the curtains and you can see the whole valley below in the East Oakland Hills and down to Merritt College and out towards the city and over towards the Bay in San Francisco. And at that age, we had to be about 16, 17, maybe 18. It was one of the first real fat cribs we'd ever been into legally.
Right.
And but that was something that always stood out to me, was that, I'd been in Joe Morgan's house, and he had a fat-ass sunken living room. That motherfucker was plush, man.
The kids don't know nothing about sunken living rooms no more. Nobody does.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing these big, spectacular
Art Deco
things.
Infinity windows and all. You
Right.
turn around and walk right off a cliff trying to walk out your backyard. But anyway.
If you've seen a sunken living room, make sure to comment in the bottom if you see what have been to
if
what.
you've been to a sunken living room, sunken in a sunken living room, or in the sunken place now and
or
need
you
to get
have
out.
a sunken, right. Exactly.
But anyway, the great Joe Morgan, the show dedicated to him tonight, and we appreciate him. And of course, again, a shout out to Stoner Dude, and also a shout out to a lady that's one of my favorite people in the world, man, Mayor Carolyn Goodman. I know she was having some health issues about 6 months ago before all this hit, and I haven't seen her on the scene too much, particularly with the opening of the Raiders and everything happening. She was so instrumental in bringing the Raiders here, and of course, we had some dealings with her early on surrounding that issue.
Fabulous lady.
Yeah, she is fun, man. And I know they tried to, get in her about the little comment she had a few months ago about COVID and what have you, and people took it way out of context. But she's a colorful, fun lady, a great spirit. She knows her politics. She's done a great job with this city, man. This city is growing, it is building. It's just, favorite people that you have in your life, man, you always wish them well. And so I was in the back of my head today that I hadn't seen Miss Goodman for a while on the scene. She was prone to pop up on a few of the morning news shows sometimes and, give people an update on this city.
She has her own show, too, so I have to look into that.
Yeah, I have to see it,
Yeah.
But like I said, I knew she had some health issues, so, I haven't heard anything really about her. But hello, Mayor Goodman. We hope you're doing well. Shout out to you. So anyway, that's what's going on. UNLV, also here locally, will be the first team to play in the Allegiant Stadium. The Rebels, Rebel Yell, baby.
Right on.
Yeah, the Rebels are going to.
Yell.
Yeah,
maybe one day Cal will get back in there.
Well, we were supposed to play Cal. Yeah, I was going to that game this year. We were supposed to play the first game.
That's right.
Against Cal.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen. So hopefully Cal will come back next year. They'll reschedule that game. But UNLV, the Rebels, being the true first football team of Las Vegas, it's kind of all propos they get to play in the stadium first.
Right on. That's cool. And you said they're going to have fans?
Yeah, Steve Sislyak, the governor, about a week ago said that he was opening up venues for at least 6,500, but it had to be structured around some other guidelines as it at Allegiant Stadium for events. As it relates to UNLV, as early as this afternoon, it was 2,000 fans.
All right.
They're going to allow in.
It's better than Can Fan.
Yeah, it's better than Can Fan, top shelf next to the pork and beans. Can Fan, that shit last night with the Rams and, just...
Yeah, it's bad.
Like you show a shot at the stands, and you got fans screaming and yelling, and there ain't no fans.
And there's no fans there. I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Like Stone said, they punching it at the wrong time.
I know.
Cheering at the wrong time, booing at the wrong time, whatever. But, UNLV, the Rebels, starting off the 2020 season. And so we're going to look forward to that, keep an update with them. So people to look for, because they got a new coach, will be Marcus Arroyo taking over for the Rebels, and Sir Oliver Edvert. He's a local DB here from Mace High School, Faith Lutheran. Keep an eye on him. This is Mountain West football, so I know a lot of y'all probably don't even pay attention to Mountain West football, but I do since I've been living here and always kind of watch it because it would always come on a little later. Colorado State, BYU, Wyoming, all that.
I don't even understand anymore. It's like there's, after everything changed, it's like, okay, there was the Big 10, then there was the Big
12.
The 12. It's
Pac-10's
like, what is it now? It's Pac-12 now.
Yeah.
So it's like things have changed a lot. I lose count of, when it comes to college
we're out
sports.
here in Mountain West West Country. And so, yeah, it's good football. UNLV, they play with a lot of passion. Hopefully they will, being in a new stadium, and that'll help with recruiting and help bolster the program even more. Not that it needs it, but it would be good to see a competitive football team here in UNLV because for years, of course, the Running Rebels basketball team was, famous for being the dominant program. Alex Lyons at linebacker. That's a kid to watch. Okay, good hands. A good blocker. Justin Rogers. He's a transfer quarterback, redshirt sophomore, who's out of Louisiana, Shreveport. So he'll be getting his bite at quarterback. Supposed to be a stellar athlete and as good a guy, a good arm. And a guy that I'm going to be keeping my eye on, Tiger Shanks. Big number 70, offensive lineman, big tackle. Who knows? He may be a Raider one day.
Shanks.
Yeah, he's a freshman right now. So he's got at least, 3 more years before he can come out. He's from Oregon, but yeah, he's a big kid.
Okay, Oregon has a strong football program. So, a lot of athletes built through there. And
then some people I've talked to at UNLV over the last year that I've just hollered at when I'm out in my casino sports book vibe. I've been talking about this kid, Mekhi Stevenson, at wide receiver that we ought to look out for. It's funny here, growing up in Cal and Berkeley all those years, being around the Cal program, which is a bigger program than UNLV. But I just really appreciate how the locals, again, are, so into their sports here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that, the outer world may not know about UNLV or anything like that. Only know Randall Cunningham. You have your historian game on about UNLV history. But, here in Vegas, Rebels is everything.
Yeah,
and they know everything. The Rebels, and they'll tell you, watch this kid with the Rebels, and the Rebels they wear their Rebel shit proud. So Rebel Yell, baby, open up against Nevada Reno, interstate college battle with Nevada Reno. They're favored by 2 touchdowns, but I feel upset in the new stadium out in the Death Star with the Rebels. So that's what happens on Saturday.
Right on. I'm just growing up spoiled, surrounded by sports and then quality, like, a sports team that's doing well. I know Cal did poorly for years, especially when I was going there. Mm-hmm. But it's just the bigness of it all. And it's so different here because it's a smaller venue.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that venue...
Not anymore, though, with that stadium they're about to play in.
Right. Speaking of that venue, football was played there this past Sunday. That's what you all come here for. And so, man, the Raiders went out and played a spectacular first quarter, a pretty inspired second quarter, and then halftime hit. And when they came back out, it was as if everybody had ran down the strip and got a drink at Planet Hollywood or something, man. This inconsistency with our man Carr, for me, has just reached its point, man. I can't sit here and confidently tell the Raider Nation, of course you do. Damn. Right here. Right. That's where it hit. Anyway, it's shot. This experiment is shot. As far as I'm concerned, and people know my feelings about that, and it was an interesting little vibe that happened with me that I'll get to in a moment related to Derek Carr, but it's just not working for me. The guy is too inconsistent. He fell back into his realm of, one giveth, one taketh away, little sparks and flashes. But as I had, said over 2 weeks ago about the competition that is coming up in the NFL, particularly in our division, I hope everybody got a bar. Justin Hebert leading the Chargers to a win Sunday. The way he played, his intensity, the way that he is so focused and just so into the game. Mm-hmm. Patrick Mahomes again, getting his Chiefs back on track. Young already has a ring. He's going to be in the division another 8 years. Mm-hmm. Hebert another 8 to 10 years. So when it matches up with the competition at quarterback, we don't rank, man, right now. Yeah. Good kid. Don't wish him any bad. I said it way back when we got him. The second brother always sucks. It's a mantra that I've been running for years. And he's the second brother. Paid him too much money up front. He wasn't proven. And, right now it's just sad to watch. It's just sad to watch a kid that has the tools but doesn't have the confidence.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be real about it, and we going to be real about it, first generation Raider fan, okay? It ain't happening, man.
Yeah, he's not really handling the pressure very well out there. And when he does have the opportunity to score, he, again, is lacking the confidence to get the ball down the field. And I don't know what's going through his mind, but in watching him, I could see him just kind of lost in space out there and knowing that I saw receivers open. I saw open opportunities, but he's not seeing it. And I know that that's frustrating for it has to be for him, because at this point in his career, he should be far ahead. He should be settled in, and he should understand his own game plan.
A lot more control of the offense.
Right. Understand his own game plan and be confident in it. And like he doesn't have that.
His body language speaks to it. And I can hear all of you at home right now, and you can scream all you want to at your fucking screen about, the offensive line didn't practice.
You gotta have a leader now.
All that shit ain't got nothing to do with it. Yes, it does factor in with the game, but as we saw in the first quarter and the second quarter, what propels second string guys? What propels guys that haven't practiced or just, anyone on the field is the preparation, one, but also the confidence of your leader. Right. And whether you want to be or not, the quarterback is the leader, and he's the one that sets the tone on the offense. And we've been hearing this throughout sports lore all our lives, and I don't think it's changed now in the modern era with the new generation. Okay, the coaches tell you that the quarterback is king.
Right.
Okay, and everything is centered around the quarter. So, you got fans, running their mouth, crying about, it was Trent Brown. I had one fan that, I was going back and forth with on text. I'm sure many of y'all do it. I got about 3 or 4 different people, a couple from Oakland that I go back and forth with on game day. And, trying to put it on Trent Brown, this is like the whole Barrett Robbins argument from the Super Bowl.
It has nothing to do with that.
You can't blame one offensive lineman cost the game.
No.
But this is some of the mentality of
But a quarterback can cost the game.
Man.
He can definitely cost the game because he's the one that's supposed to be the leader of that offense.
Well, he didn't lose this game. He didn't lose this game. Yes, we're hampered with offensive line play. The running game, we've got to get a big back. We've got to get on the waiver wire and pull somebody up. I don't know if Spencer Ware is out there, who was with Kansas City a couple years ago, had a couple of stellar seasons with them before he went down with an injury, but I'm sure he's recovered by now. I don't know where that big kid we had a couple years ago that came out when training camp. And I had his name and I forgot. It was Watson or Wilson. I can't remember. But anyway, we got to get another back. Got to change the direction back. Got to get a big back that can pound down in the red zone inside the 20. And spell Jacobs, and just give us a different look and give us a little more meat out of the backfield. Get Ingold involved, fullback dives, fullback trap. He can run. He's good holding on to the ball, and he's an intense player, and he runs downfield.
He's going to get your yak.
So, as I've been screaming for, since Chucky's been back and just, seems like since 2003, imagination with these coaches we got. Where's your imagination? Now, we were limited with Kiffin, of course, because he was a fucking bumfuck. All right.
Lance?
But Chucky's been here before, and I know Chucky wants to open it up. You can see the flashes of what he wants to do, getting the ball downfield. He understands having the weapons like Renfro and Ruggs and Brandon Edwards when he comes back, and some of that speed that we have along with Waller and our tight end.
Which we all saw them very active in the first
that we pointed out, last week. That those needed to be key factors and whatever. And the Raiders, whenever they, pretty much do what I and what we talk about here suggest or whatever, it works.
Yeah.
And so for all of y'all that want to talk that shit about the long ball and run, you can't throw lemon. Brady beat our ass with the long ball
repeatedly.
Okay,
and who was covering Gronk? I mean, really? We've got to do something.
Got to spy a linebacker on him.
Yes, we've got to spy a linebacker. We need to get stronger at safety. I don't know what's going on with the defensive scheme, but I think we need to look at making some serious changes there.
Well, I'm glad you said that because Chucky said that this week, that all possibilities are open for defensive changes.
Right.
And the first one's got to be Gunther, man.
Yes.
The defensive coordinator. This guy's got no imagination. He doesn't adjust on the fly.
Doing?
We're playing too much of a base 4-3. We're playing 10, DBs are 10 yards off the, giving 10-yard cushions off the line. We're not pressing. We're not playing man-to-man. There's no nickel. There's no 3-4, 5-2. Give some different pre-snap looks, man. Get somebody, in the gap, man. You know what I'm saying? Looking over the quarterback, breathing in his ear, telling him his mother has nice panties. Shit like that. Like, man, there's got to be some active, active motion going on at the line, pre-snap line. Tackling got a little better. It's improving, but still guys are playing out of position, are contained. Jones and Fournette, and again, this long history we have that we've been watching where the Raiders, mess around and allow some guy that's been on the IR or got traded from a team or something to have, a good day against us. I think about Tampa. I always think about that damn muscle hamster. Some no-name of 10 years ago that ran all over us and he became a big superstar.
Right.
And this happens with Ron Dane had a great day against us. We're always giving up days to these has-been running backs or what have you. So this was another one. Fournette had a great day. He played tough. Brady, of course, 5 touchdowns. Gronk, like you said, not being spied. Littleton, he's terrible, man.
And mismatched.
Okay,
right?
We need a linebacker. We got to get a linebacker that can cover. Rashad Smith just got released from Dallas. Might want to bring him in or what have you, give him a tryout. He's a good tackler.
There's a lot of releasing from Dallas going on. Players trying to jump ship and get out of there.
But, there's got to be something with Gunther, man, done about his approach defensively. There's no intensity, and if I can borrow a line from Prezzo without getting sued, it's low energy, man. It's a low energy defense, man.
Yeah, it is. It is. And we always say, to play on the sinister side of things with defense. And that's just what's got to happen. We've got to be able to contain, and we haven't been doing that. And we continue to give up plenty of real estate. Mm-hmm. So look for some changes for that with the Raiders. I know Chucky, in order to put together the right vibe, he's going to need to make a change there in order to have some success.
Well, Max Crosby is an athletic guy.
Yes.
Much like the Steelers did with Kevin Green and Greg Lloyd years ago. Much like you had done with Jason Taylor down in Miami for years. John Randall at times with the Vikings. Move him around.
Yeah.
Max Crosby is an athletic player, man. Move him around.
Smart player.
Stand him up sometime. They do it down in Houston with J.J. Watt. You got to think outside the box, man. This NFL is too compartmentalized and too... what's the word you're always using? It's too...
I don't know, cookie cutter?
No, well, yeah, that's one of them. It's too specialized.
Oh, yeah.
For you not to be able to take advantage of that. And you can see in the way that we played defensively with the specialized 4-3 base defense, how Tampa was able to weave in and out of it and get underneath us and go over the top on us and just find those spots because we're playing this base 4-3 defense
and
that's conventional. And wouldn't adjust. That's conventional, and that's specialized. You know what I'm saying? It's structured to just be in that area and just be at this zone and just worry about that assignment. And there's no spontaneity. There's no flow. There's no fluidity to the defense. Mullen played better. Lawson got burned a couple of times. He was doing the one, give it the one, take it away game too. And I think it's just a thing of coaching defensively, of getting these guys' mentality to buy into, the physicality, but also playing the ball.
Play the ball.
Swarm to the ball.
Yes.
There's only one motherfucker with the ball at a time.
And that's who you
go to him.
Stop.
Right. There should be 4 or 5 of you at every tackle.
Yeah.
And it's a mentality.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's a mentality. Definitely. So that mentality defensively has got to change.
And there's really no excuse when you look at the history of the Raiders and the stellar defense that we've had. You can go back and look at all the tape you want to on old Raider games and see what style we had, and then take some of that, find that part of yourself that will be, on the attack, and go for it. I mean, it's just like they're not able to cut loose, and like you said, they're forced into a into a role instead of actually getting out there and doing what's needed to stop that ball from going downfield, get a turnover. I mean, it's just lack of consistency. One week you're on fire, you're good, you're on top of things. The next week you're falling apart. And Brady, you could have won that game if you had focused and made that happen. I mean, all you had to do was attack the guy and lay him on his back.
We have shown the NFL what the template was that night in Foxborough.
Yes.
When Charles Woodson laid his ass out and he fumbled and Greg Beaker recovered, and we should have went on and won and been on our way to the AFC Championship game.
For sure.
Okay, that's over with. But the bottom line is, through all that time, the NFL, with help, the teams, with help from the refs, though, like you said a couple weeks ago, he's been protected as some star quarterbacks have throughout, the last 20, 25 years in the NFL. It's nothing new, but with him it was excessive.
Yeah.
But the key was always he can't take pressure. He's weak, and we proved that and showed everybody what the template was. Come off the corner on his ass, stunt on his ass at the line, and be in his face and bring pressure, and he will tuck up.
He will fall.
He will tuck up every time.
Yeah,
okay, he will tuck the tuck up. Okay, he's a tucker.
Tuck up.
Okay,
he's tuck boy.
He's tuck boy, man. He's Tommy Tuck. So once again, we've missed an opportunity. As Stone wanted to lay Brady out. Well, Maurice Hurst got him, and there were a couple of rushes on him, but pressure,
but he should have been regularly.
Yes,
like this.
I mean, it's like, again, this should be the mentality of the Raiders. I mean, Gruden should have still some, hard feelings about what happened in Foxborough, and anytime he sees Brady, he should want to fucking rip his head off. Man.
I'm sure he did. Looking at the sideline, but fortunately, Chucky's mouth is covered, so you can't exactly see what he's really saying underneath there. But it's pretty much what we're saying.
Well, I know he was getting in Derek's ass. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
sorry.
Definitely, he was.
But you know what he's pretty much saying. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. It was just both of
Cheers.
us. Go ahead. Yeah, let's cheer
to the Raider Nation, all of you out there. But it's just about them just finding an identity, man.
Right.
This team has been with Chucky now for 3 years, and there's still an identity crisis. What kind of team are you going to be? And for us, from what we've seen so far in these 6 games, when they're aggressive, when they exude physicality, when they're prepared, and when they're just playing with a sense of intensity and urgency. And they start off great too. The Raiders have played good first halves of all their games. That's what works. And you got to find that and bottle it up and try to stick with it. But I understand from my perspective that he's limited when it comes to the quarterback position because Carr just doesn't have the confidence to get over his mistakes and doesn't have the confidence to take charge and really command the offense. It's just glaringly clear. And there's a solution for that. And I'm going to talk about that in a moment here. But, with all that drama that was going on and getting our ass kicked, like I said, like most of you probably do, you have a couple of friends you're talking to during the game and all that. So I had this mug that I've known for a couple of years, man. Met him on Facebook in a group, NFL group, and he knew me from my days on, radio, national radio and what have you. Used to work for and with this prominent sports personality who was affiliated with the Raider Nation and the Black Hole, and someone that I pretty much introduced to the Raider Nation. And anyway, so me and this guy, for the last couple of years, have gone back and forth. He wanted to be in my vibe, and all that. And so we got to know each other. And he's a cool dude. What I'm getting ready to say right now, I don't want this to be taken as a malicious attack or that I'm trying to, ruin him or some shit like that. And whatever, what's with the new kids y'all say today? I'm trying to blast him off or something like that.
You trying to put him on blast. That's what
is that what it is?
That's what it is. Trying to put him on blast.
Well, I'm not blasting him or whatever.
Generation X.
I don't get out like that, man. I'm not really a big social media mug as it is, and particularly when it comes to dramas and all that. But the one thing that is real is that being the man that created the Raider Nation and being part of one of the most notorious and most recognizable fan bases in all of sports history, the Black Hole. Shout out to all the Black Hole out there. in Oakland and everywhere that y'all are. I love the Raider Nation, and from Oakland to Los Angeles, the fans that I've met here in Las Vegas, now that I've been here the last 5-6 years, and the Raiders are here, but also when I was coming here starting in the early 90s, there were Raider fans trickled about all over the world, fans that have come to Oakland over the years and met us from Fiji and England and Australia. What's up, Crusader Raider? Across the pond.
Crusader Raider.
Montreal and Toronto. Africa. We had fans come from Africa, Ireland, Afghanistan, like she always says.
Yeah.
It's real. So love y'all, man, and appreciate y'all. They're great Raider fans, that I've met from all the 3 locations and homes that we've had, and that have come to Oakland. And I respect and really take serious this fandom that we have. It's not a joke to many of us, particularly us first generation fans, that got a chance when they came back in '95 to reestablish the fan image of the team, that we wanted to change a lot of the stereotypes that were in Los Angeles and, put the Oakland stamp on it, because we had grown up with the Raiders when we were kids, but then they left and we missed a big chunk of that in our life. And so we were able to, get our team back and reclaim the fandom of the Raiders for many years until, of course, they came here and relocated to Las Vegas. So with that being said, this cat claims to be a Raider fan, and he is. And we've been dealing with this for a lot of years, what we like to call fraud fans, infiltrators.
Right.
They're fans, and they wear the colors, and they boast Raider this and Raider that and all that. But in this cat's case, he has the company line that is very prominent in mainstream press, and particularly sports talk radio, which is one of his industries, and, has a corporate media attitude that we know all too well from the Bay of, that Jim Rome, Colin Coward kind of snobbery, Stephen A. Smith snobbery, where, the fan doesn't matter. And the fan, is just a byproduct and a happenstance part of the big sports industry, which is asinine as fuck, And so me and him were going back and forth. So we are, I've been doing, like I said, the last couple of years during the season. And he's a big Carr fan. Loves Carr, and he makes excuses for Carr, like these motherfuckers make excuses for who at 1600. You know what I'm saying? Just bending themselves into a pretzel to try to make a motherfucker believe that, it ain't Carr. And Carr is fine, and it's Gruden, and I'm a Gruden cat. You know what I'm saying? No Chucky, and what have you. One of the first fans even ever meet Chucky when he was signed with the Raiders.
Right.
So anyway, no Chucky, and I had told him, the year, a couple weeks or a couple months before we hired Mayock. Me and him were going back and forth at the end of that season and talking about GMs and all that. And I was like, man, we need to get Mayock. I've always liked Mike Mayock when he was on NFL Network and what have you, da-da-da-da. Sure enough, we ended up getting him. The cat knows my reputation. In case you don't, I am a great prognosticator. Yes. I am credible and well known for what we call calling it. Mm-hmm. All right, I have a 90% rate. All right, I'm like the feds with their conviction rate.
He has a federal rate of being able to predict the outcome. Exactly. Even the Raiders coming here.
So people know my reputation, So anyway, we're associates and we go back and forth and da-da-da. So what started this one, and I'm going to show y'all some of this. What started this one was Carr goes back in towards the end of the fourth quarter, as you all remember. We're getting blown out. Tampa Bay had just scored that last touchdown. And so, like I said, he's blaming Gruden again. As another week I'm hearing that, the play calling. And Gruden, when you can clearly see Carr's out there fucking up and overthrowing it. And that, he's just not the mug. But he wants him to be so bad. And I've been there. I loved Todd Marinovich. Left-handed, number 12. I was like, this is Snake all over again. And I had people telling me, Rob, you crazy. And man, motherfucking Todd Marinovich ain't shit. But I loved him. I love that woman worked so well. Andrew Walter, that was another one. Loved Andrew
one of my
Walter.
Favorites.
Was one of the call-its. I had seen him at ASU. We had went to a game to see them play Cal. He threw about 5 touchdowns against Cal that night, and I was like, I want that dude to be a Raider, big arm quarterback. Sure enough, the Raiders drafted him, and what have you. We were on our show talking about it. So again, that connection that we have of just throwing it out there, and the Raiders pick up on it, and things happen, and what have you. So called that one. Of course, it didn't work out, but I believed in Andrew Walter. I wanted to work out so bad you couldn't tell me nothing different. Right. So I've been there. But this cat, who's from New York, thinks he's Mr. Know-It-All, has that New York attitude, that arrogance, and that blustery bravado that, and like I said, with that corporate media vibe where they look down and think that you just being a regular fan, even though he knows my popularity, my celebrity status as a fan, there are celebrity fans, and I am one of them, and like I said, have my reputation. But, the thing was, I was ribbing him and jokingly because when he came back in, why is he bringing him back in? Why is Carr back in? Fucking Gruden, man. And I'm like, I texted him. I was like, well, because, maybe he's trying to get the inevitable over, now. And so what I meant by that was the inevitable is, Gruden done with that motherfucker, man. Now, he ain't going to say that, but Carr's on his way out. Okay, I doubt he'll be here the next 2 years. All right, and like I said, I got something for that in a moment. And so that's what I texted back to him. And I said, you're going to be the last one to know. You don't even see it. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? See what? And I texted him back, exactly. You don't see it. That Carr is done, dude. Carr ain't the one. He's not going to win a Super Bowl for the Las Vegas Raiders, period. He's not a contender quarterback. He's not that guy. He's not a championship caliber quarterback. And should he win a Super Bowl for the Las Vegas Raiders, I will walk half naked down the strip with a Charger jersey. What's the team I hate the worst?
The Chiefs, the Broncos.
Carried it too.
The Broncos.
I hate the Chargers the most. I can't stand the San Diego fucking Chargers and their fans. So that would be the jersey I would wear. All right. So if he ever wins the Super Bowl for the Las Vegas Raiders while he's here, that's my challenge.
Wow.
But it ain't gonna happen. All right. And so
calling it again.
Yeah. So when I hit him with that, he goes personal, and starts talking big shit, man, and attacking, me, and, luckily Mayock and Gruden ain't listening to you, when he fully knows that I called Mayock being GM and it happened, so I know my shit. I know my football.
Of course you do.
And he wants to be one of them cats that wants his football to relate to the general population of fans because he's in this little elite world of sports media, inside corporate media, and they think they know more than us fans. Mm-hmm. And so whenever they find fans that are challenging and do know they shit, then they want to match wits with them and think that they can outfox us and outtalk us out of what, so they can have their own little personal victory in the head game. And we ain't playing that. You can't beat me, man. I'm one of the best at this shit.
And have been.
Okay. So anyway, we get into it with that, and then he attacks the Raider Nation. Then he attacks y'all, and he knows that I'm Raider Nation. Okay, he knows what's up, and there's some other things that have been said personally and little comments he's made, when it relates to that.
It's over there.
That just ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? Ain't cool to just flaunt, the fact that him being a Raider fan, he started a fan club down in Arizona, and he's making money off my shit,
Off of Raider Nation.
Right. And he's making money off of Raider fans under the guise that, he's a Raider fan and that he's just being entrepreneurial and all that. But I'm going to find this here.
Yeah, that's...
Because when it comes to y'all, he wants to talk shit. And he's another one of these interloper motherfuckers, like I said. And so what he said was, Mayock and Gruden don't agree with you, which is all that matters. Fans don't mean shit. Especially Raider fans.
Fans don't mean shit.
That's y'all. Yeah, fans don't mean shit.
He said fans don't mean shit, especially Raider. Fans don't mean shit, especially Raider fans. Bad fan base? What does that mean?
Y'all can't see it.
I mean, really? And he's a Raider fan?
Fans don't mean shit, especially Raider fans. Bad fan base. California team, laugh out loud. And then he took a jab at Dodger fans, too.
Ooh, but you're a Raider fan and you're in media?
And again,
how could you be a Raider fan in media and then talk shit about
exactly.
the Raider Nation?
Exactly.
And about Raider fans? And
but
we're a bad fan base?
But also, you've gone, number one, and like these other motherfuckers, went and used my shit, co-opted my shit, and called yourself the Arizona Raider Nation Fan Club. They out of Scottsdale, Arizona. Okay. And
wow, phony.
Yeah.
You better check them credentials.
So, and then when it comes to that, because he has merch and all that, so any of you fans that are affiliated or, fuck with him or know what I'm talking about,
think twice about buying that shit.
I don't watch for fans. I watch for the team. But most Raider fans are there for the social aspect. Haven't met many good ones. A few here and there like you. Most I met just like to scream Raiders all day. A tattoo. A lot of Raider tats. Laugh out loud. Which I'll never do. No team. Free advertising. Puh. Laugh out loud. That's him talking about Raider fans.
Wow.
Now, I ain't having that.
Nah, he needs to be exposed.
Okay,
definitely.
Particularly as the motherfucker that started Raider Nation, and he knows that. It's like, dude, really in my face? You gonna say these things? Like I said, he said some other things, related to that before that had me, And like I said, I ain't nobody trying to bring the dude down. For the most part, he was a cool dude or what have you. But
there's a lot of media like that come around us and that want to take advantage of our light and our creativity. Right. And they've made a career of making money off of being a fan.
Yes.
Like you're a Raider fan and you want to be Raider Nation. Right. You wear the colors, but deep down inside, you're saying shit like this behind the scene, that we're a bad fan base, and that we're not really important. If we weren't important, there wouldn't be a Raider Nation.
That's real.
There wouldn't be everybody else trying to bite Raider Nation too.
Right. I have bitten Raider Nation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, it's one of those situations where you're dealing with somebody, you get to know somebody, they show who they really are. There had been some signs, like I said before, but I kind of just let it go because, it was like, I'll catch him down the line. Because this year, this major lawsuit that I was going to file against the people that have, infringed on my intellectual property of the ownership of Raider Nation was going to happen. But COVID happened and what have you, and my lawyers put it off. And so we're going to get to it next year. And hopefully in the next 5 to 6 months, you all will see it. It'll be on ESPN and everywhere. And so he'll be one of those people that I probably will throw in this lawsuit to. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to have to go out here and let motherfuckers know that it ain't yours. To be using and monetizing and making money off of.
Right.
And again, another motherfucker that ain't original, can't come up with his own shit. You know what I'm saying? Just like that cocksucker Murph with Raiders Fan Radio, and when I talked to him, I knew, I saw it. Yeah, well, you knew it's ours. Yeah. So you going to take somebody else's shit. Another fucking fraud Raider fan. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So they're out there.
Right.
And y'all do what y'all want and knock yourselves out.
Wow.
I can't tell you what to do, but me, those of you that do, I'm a defender of the Raider Nation, baby. And I'm not going to let nobody disrespect y'all. I'm not going to let nobody try to play y'all for the stereotypes. You know what I'm saying? That every fan he meets are just loud and scream and don't know nothing and all that shit when all of y'all do. Yeah. I've met many of you from L.A., from Oakland over the years, from other places. Y'all know the team. Y'all know football. We're one of the most savviest fan bases that there are. You know what I'm saying? So it was real disrespectful, man. It was out of pocket. It pissed me off. And I was debating if I was even going to come on like that because, when you talk about people making their bones off of us, back when a certain personality came west and got hooked up with us and all that, me and a few other mugs in the Raider Nation and the Black Hole and some people in the media that I knew and just local fans in general with the Raiders because we were just coming back from L.A. and then, like I said, reestablishing the image and trying to put a new face on the image that had been, black-eyed in L.A. people were coming at me because they knew I knew this person and had brought him kind of in the fold and kind of gave him cred, kind of told everybody, yeah, he's cool. You know what I'm saying? He's one of us. He's a media mug that's going to do us right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we had our suspicions. And this idiot, inadvertently while texting me, kind of confirmed some shit from 20-something years ago that we kind of were thinking about and suspecting, like I said, with this well-known sports talk personality that, was affiliated with us back in the day. And right here is where that is. I told him about, you making this money off of something I created and whatever.
He texted his stupidity.
Fans are fans. Don't really have any influence on the game. And I told him you're delusional and da-da-da-da-da, Why I always listen to managers and coaches post-game. Whatever that was about. Then he tried to take a dig at me.
How many times have I listened to a manager or coach say something about the team that had nothing to do with what happened on the field?
And then he tried to take a dig at me. I think being on radio for 18 years has soured me on dumb callers. Now, he's talking to me. He knows that I'm one of the most famous and most popular sports talk callers in the last 20-something years.
What?
So it was like, he was trying to take his little jab at me. But anyway, when he went on, let me just do this and get this over with. So then when he goes on to say is that when I checked him, for having that type of attitude and just like, what are you talking about? Fans don't have influence and all that shit. If they don't have influence, you running around here making money off of them.
Yeah, you wouldn't be in sports talk.
Selling memorabilia with players, signed players. You spent money to have players sign pictures and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
So
and he told me that, hell yeah, I'll milk people for money. I used to sell shit stocks and that's where I'll stop.
I'll milk people for money. I used to sell stocks.
Shit stocks. And I'll leave it there. I'm not going to tell you his name and,
but you can all think back to the 1980s,
some of you, yes,
1990s.
Yeah. That was
late 1990s, early 2000s, when a lot of shady stuff was going on
with the stock market. Mm-hmm. And like I said, back then, when this certain personality came west, people were like, how's a motherfucker from the stock market getting a sports talk game? And da-da-da-da. So anyway, in my book, I'm going to go in full detail with my theory about it, what some of that shit was back then. I'm sorry to have dragged this out. I didn't intend to drag it out this long. I appreciate you for sticking and staying if you have with the story, but it pissed me the fuck off. Number one, our influence, and fans' influence is very important in sports. It's vital to sports' survival, and they're learning that with all the revenue they're losing now. And that's why you've seen over the last few months, and even in baseball with the World Series and what have you, fans being allowed to trickle in. That, of course, they're not making a big deal about it or doing too because, they don't want to rile up people that want to get in the game and say it's unfair that all of us can't come in and yada, yada, yada. But football, baseball, have been in college football, been allowing fans in. You know what I'm saying? I love, women's volleyball, college volleyball. They've been having fans scattered in the stands, social distancing, masks on.
NASCAR's have fans from the beginning.
NASCAR had fans from the beginning. So, the fan is very important. It was just an ignorant statement, as well as the disrespect of the Raider Nation and Raider fans.
It speaks to what a lot of these corporate media representatives feel about the fan. And I remember a famous, a sports personality saying that you'd never have a fan walk in the halls at 1220, which is the Raiders facility. And I remember when Mr. Davis invited us specifically for his press conference because he knew we were fans, but he knew we were real Raiders, mentally and socially.
Well, what that sports personality at the time didn't know is that before all of this, me and the great Raider Mort had done Raider Talk Raw, which was
that was the first
cable Oakland show, which was a weekly show that we did, similar to this one that we broke down the Raiders each week and would have you preview the next game, would have guests on and this and that and the other. And then we ended up in the middle of the season in 1998 being invited into 1220 to film our show. So we'll be talking about that in coming episodes of our show and putting pictures up and showing you whatever, what's up with that. But so Raider Talk Raw was first. We were the first ones that had a Raiders show dealing with breaking down the Raiders and what have you and highlighting the Raiders every week when they came back.
I remember that because it used to be everywhere, but it was in front of the facility.
Yeah.
And you and Mort were filming there. Mm-hmm. and then eventually you guys went inside,
That's what I said.
right?
Yeah, eventually we got invited inside by Mike Taylor and started doing, and then that's the model. Our show, Raider Talk Raw, for Behind the Shield and Silver and Black Show.
Right.
So I've been doing this a long motherfucking time. That I've been in. You know, what do the kids call now? An influencer?
Right.
If we'd had social media back then, I'd be king of the influencers. Okay? Raider Nation. Okay? The association with the Black Hole. The Black Hole changed the fan culture.
Yes.
You know, Dave Monzo, Rob Rivera, myself, you know, Steve Lopez, Harry Krause, Junebug August, Brenda August, you know, the Black Hole. We changed, you know, the way fan culture has been looked at ever since we came on the scene in '96, showing you how to monetize your fandom, all right, and the popularity in which we became part of the backstory of the game and part of the subplot and the storylines of the game, where we saw networks incorporating through reaction shots
of the Black Hole,
directing and making us pieces of the game, you know, and elevating the drama, even though the team sucked. You know what I'm saying? So as I said in the show a couple weeks ago, cameras didn't come to us. There is such thing as celebrity fans. We as the fans, and I can tell you, particularly with my comrades at the Black Hole, a lot of them, we weren't looking to be famous. We weren't looking for all this outside attention from media, whatever. We had an anticipation that was going to come, and that's why we were very leery of who we fucked with and trusted from the media. You know, but when it happened, you know, we took to it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us, like myself, became very popular. And, you know, I became considered a professional fan. I've been paid, you know what I'm saying, for what my fandom has done. And I thank you, Raider Nation. I have done Madden promos. I've done commercials. I've been in movies, all that stuff. And a lot of other fans, too. Violator and Howie and Spike, they did a commercial for Pizza Hut. You know, Gorilla Rilla did some commercials.
That's influence.
Shieldhead was on NFL Films doing spots on top 10 lists and shit like that. So what are you talking about? We ain't got no fucking influence.
Right. But see, that's a person that's jealous and somebody that doesn't have any influence themselves and that really wants it. Because if he's got a radio show that he's doing, and he definitely will want fans to listen, because without listeners, you don't have a job. But a lot of them know that. See, they're not media either. They're not really journalists. No. You know,
it's like a stockbroker.
Exactly. We're media and we're fans. We're professional at it. These people come in, you know, they're stockbrokers, or, you know, selling junk stocks to people, you know, just like we're boiler room or whatever.
Yeah, the boiler room shit.
Yeah. You know, that all that was happening back in the 90s and the early 2000s, you're a part of, and then you just get to be a radio personality like it's a job. This is not about being a job. This is about buying your way in.
Kind of seems like that's what New Yorkers do, huh? When they want to get power.
Or they buy their way in.
Authority.
That's true. They buy their way in. Huh. That's right.
Another New Yorker we know very well.
That does that. You know?
You know what I'm saying? Wow. But anyway, I just want to say, you know, straight up, the fans and the supporters of the Raider Nation made me Raider Rob. Okay, and made me a celebrity fan and gave me all that attention. And as one of my great heroes, Freddie Mercury, once sang, you know, you gave me fame and fortune and everything that goes with it. And I thank you all. Although it was no bed of roses, no pleasure cruise, I consider it an honor and a faith, and I'm not going to lose. And we went on and on and... Yeah. So I thank you all for the life that you've given me, Raider Nation, and all you fans out there that I've met over the years that, you know, trusted me to be your voice and recognized me as being, you know, a mug that carries the mantra of the Raider fan and the Raiders, you know, and so, you know, and in that vein, the Raiders too. You know, and in my book, I'm going to really expose a piece of the story of my life and about the whole vibe with me that people don't really know about. But when a cat like that talks about no influence, and I hope you're looking, I just want to show this to you folks. Like I said, you know, consequently to the show, receipts. We're going to be showing you more and more of just where we come from. Because we're legit. We're who we say we are. I'm who I say I am. Okay? So you talk about influence, right? And not having none, and the fans don't matter. And then the old myth and lie that, you know, I hated for years and defended for years was the one that Al Davis didn't care about fans and the fans in Oakland and didn't
Yes,
give
he
us the
did.
time of day. And like I said in my book, I'm going to reveal that I had a pretty cool little communication relationship with Mr. Al Davis up to a few years before his death, you know, and a lot of people can verify it, and I can verify it because it started in 1998, and this is an envelope here. Can you see that?
Receipts.
Okay?
Yeah.
That says Raider Rob. That's me. That's the Raider logo, as you see, 1220. You know,
Yeah, it
Harbor Lake
is.
Parkway.
Yes. Can't
And-
be making this up, could you?
No, Raider fans, they don't have no influence.
Oh.
Okay? That's Raider stationery. Y'all see that?
Yeah, I
Okay.
see it.
Now I'm going to read it to you. And
Oh.
it says, Raider Rob, thanks for your passionate, passionate is underlined, support
Underlined it. That's cool.
of Al Davis and the Oakland Raiders. And it's signed
Raiders.
by Bruce Allen, the GM of the Raiders at the time.
The general
Okay.
manager.
And,
since you listen to managers
good man,
and coaches.
good man, you know, good man, and always used to come over to the Black Hole before games and say hi to us and what have you. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, ain't nobody fronting out here, baby. Okay, I'm a real
Wow.
one. She's a real one.
What a hater.
You know, the Black Hole, they real ones. The thing that we created in '95 and that you now know to be the Raider Nation that many of you are a part of and are continuing that legacy on. Okay, we're a real one. It goes back that far with the
Yeah.
respect that we have. You know, and I defended Al Davis. I stood by Al Davis in the media, would stand by our team and fought for respectability for the fans.
And we weren't
in the Bay
rah-rah
Area.
ever. We're pro-Raider radio.
Exactly. Straight
We
up.
promote the Raiders because we believe in the Raiders, but we know the authenticity of the Raiders and Raider-style football, and we're not going to settle for any less. So if there is a coach or a player that's not down with that program, that's not down with Al Davis football, then yes, we are going to call it out because that is the mastermind behind it all. And if you don't get that, if you don't understand that philosophy, then you're just not a Raider.
And we're going to call out fans, too. And particularly within the Raider Nation.
Yeah,
I
like
said,
fake ones
he's
like
not the
that.
first one, but there are a lot of these Raider fan frauds like this.
And a lot of
these
media
are
frauds.
Asinine-ass comments, and he happens to be both. You know what I'm saying? But if fans didn't matter, I mean, why did the NFL sue New Orleans Saints fans that had created Who Dat?
That's right.
If they didn't have no influence.
That's right.
Okay? Why have I been in a 20-year battle that the Raiders and the NFL have fought to keep you, the public, from not knowing about the fight I've been going through with them for full ownership rights to my shit, Raider Nation?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about Green Bay?
What about Green Bay? Part owners, the fan base there are part owners of the team. And that
Fans.
happened when the team was terrible in the late 70s. They came up with that idea. If the fans didn't matter, why would a multi-million-dollar team want to have their fans be part owners and have part of the fan base sit on the board of governors of their football team?
Right. If,
What the fuck are you talking about?
If fans weren't important,
How many
nobody
millions of
listens to fans.
dollars did the National Football League make off of cheeseheads?
Man, billions. at
That
this
spawned ram heads.
Billions.
And dolphin heads.
That's right.
And Viking heads.
Right. You won't see that at the Raider Nation. We don't do that stuff. We don't
And
wear
motherfuckers out there even in
But all y'all can do your thing.
sorry ass New York walking around with jet heads.
Jet heads.
That was spawned by the influence of Green Bay Packer fans wearing
right.
cheese heads.
That's right. That's right.
The black hole. Where do you think the deep end comes from? The bird's nest.
The bird's
The
nest.
red zone.
Right.
Those are all takeoffs of the black
Of the
hole.
black hole.
Who pioneered and transcended the fan culture
That's
of
right.
pro sports in
That's
the
right.
NFL.
That's right.
You know,
and it was the dog pound that inspired, the black hole coming years later.
And we've met them.
More
We met Big
influential
Dog and
fans.
all them. We met. I've kicked it and broke bed with Big Dog. Kicked it and broke bed with Barrel Man. God rest his soul.
Barrel Man, yeah.
From Carolina. Like I said, we'll be showing pictures throughout. Whatever. And when our website get out, you'll be able to go in there and see.
We
the
have
history.
receipts.
We have kicked
Raider
it
Nation.
with these people. So the fans are very influential. We're influential to each other. There is a culture of celebrity fans that are recognized by media. So yeah, it just comes down to jealousy. That's the bottom fucking line.
And not being real yourself because you came in with an angle. You just want to,
Exactly.
sell some junk stock.
I just read it to
some
you.
fans
I just read it to you.
and have us
He
believe
has
that you're
no
part of us.
problem milking.
I have
people
no
for money.
problem milking people for money.
This is a Raider fan.
So you better look out, those of you that are out there in Arizona, and all the way around the globe. You need to look out for people, fake people. Regardless of even if they have credentials around their neck, are they really genuine? And we are the ones that pioneered fans being media inside, because it wasn't just the fact that we were fans, we were also media. And we made that work, and we promoted our team, we promoted our city, and that's what it was about. So people coming on after that, pretending and glomming on and wanting to saddle up and, I'm a Raider fan too. No, you're not. You're not really a Raider fan. Where are you from, New York? You're probably a Giants fan. You might be a Jets fan, but you're not a Raider fan.
Anyway, enough of that cat right there. That's what's up. Just beware of the frauds. And there's a fraud in Arizona running the Arizona Raider Nation fan club. And like I say, hopefully not for long, once me and my lawyers get our shit together and do what we're going to do next year. And me get my full ownership back for my shit. A lot of this going to get shut down because I'm sick of motherfuckers monetizing off of my shit.
And not really believing in it.
Yeah, that's real talk.
That's not what it was about.
I'm sure Stone's going to have criticism when he sees this about how long you guys went on.
We'll do it.
It's podcasting, man. Long form talk, baby. I heard Joe Rogan saying that, bite my shit last week. It's long form talk. Yeah, we pioneered this shit. I'll talk as long as the fuck I want to. Anyway, so that's what's going on. And that's what's up with that. And I love you, Raider Nation. Always will. And we'll always stand up and protect what you have made more than what I could have expected when I created it.
Raider.
And also protect what I created, despite what the powers that be may be trying to do. Like
That's
I say,
right.
This is all going to be settled soon.
And like Lady Chain said, we are the elite of fans. We
That's
have
right.
set the benchmark.
That's right.
And if you've ever been to Oakland, California, it's never going to be like that. Even out here in Las Vegas, Oakland, California was a paradise it was a big carnival of the Raider Nation. And that's what inspired this man to create Raider Nation, to even say that. Just the beauty, the fact that we were creative, we came up with our own thing, and it was lovely, and people came there to see it. And when the team was really sucking for those years, people would come just to hang out at the living room, just to hang out at the Black Hole, just to hang out at the South Shield. And hopefully when you look at RaiderFanRadio.Vegas and you log on and become a member, you can get access to the Archive Museum. You'll see a lot of those photos from that period.
Okay, we're going to keep saying the same thing over and over again.
No,
right,
we're going to edit things.
No, I'm just messing with beautiful
We
Black
are going to
Hole
edit
stuff.
things.
So anyway, the answer to Carr lies in a young man I saw 3 years ago. And from the first moment I saw him, I said, this motherfucker looks like John Elway. And he reminds me of Todd Marinovich. And he's got the release of Jim Kelly. And he's got the golden blonde hair of David Lee Roth or John Bon Jovi in his prime. And to me, he is the answer. Not Allen Iverson, but
That's funny.
he's the answer. At least for me.
Right on.
Again, I'm good at this like I've been telling y'all. And the answer...
Are you calling it again?
Calling it again. Lies with a young man, like I said, big arm, great personality. Vegas, we need box office here. Like I said, you see what Kansas City's doing?
Calling it again.
You see what A-Bear's doing?
Mm-hmm.
He's got a new stadium to play in at big, beautiful SoFi Stadium in Inglewood.
Yeah.
Okay? We got a big, beautiful house, too. And we're in the entertainment capital of the world. And we need an entertaining quarterback. We need a motherfucker with some flair. Okay? We need a motherfucker with Vegas style that you can put up on a billboard and the ladies will stop and go, oh, where can I go see him tonight? You know, right on Dean Martin Parkway, baby. And I want him to be a Raider. I believe he's going to be a Raider. When I saw him, the first time I saw him, I wanted him to be a Raider as a freshman quarterback. And I tell you, there's a way to get him. I will reveal that on our last show of the season. How to go about getting him. Okay? But the answer and the future, the greatness of the future of the Las Vegas Raiders is in the hands of one number 16, Trevor Lawrence in
TL.
Clemson.
Wow.
TL, baby.
All right.
TL, baby.
Yeah.
And I've been talking about him, and Stone knows too, and some of you others out there that know me personally know I've been talking about him for 2 years.
Yeah, you have.
And I was trying to hold off, but I just can't because there's talks about the Jets possibly getting. I saw that last week, and that scared the shit out of me. He cannot go to New York.
No.
Let me tell you something in New York, okay, you cocksuckers. Stop drafting USC quarterbacks.
No, keep drafting.
They suck. They are terrible. How many more does the NFL have to keep drafting USC quarterbacks before y'all will get it, man? They are not going to save your franchise. From Rob Johnson, back to Sean Salisbury, Matt Leinart, this guy Sam Arnold, Matt Barkley, all of them.
They love it. That's that deep
The University of Sucking Cocks does not produce quarterbacks.
Yes, that's what you want.
Okay?
You don't want Trevor Lawrence because that's just not a match for you.
He don't belong in New York.
No.
Okay, they'll fuck him up in New York.
Yeah.
Okay, and I
They'll
don't
waste
want him to end up with us when he's a 28, 29-year-old, washed up and throwing his arm out, fucking
You
around
want
with
him
the Jets.
fresh.
You want him fresh, and there's a way to get him. I will reveal that. Okay, at the end of the season on our last show, but I'm calling it.
Right on.
Trevor Lawrence should be a Las Vegas Raiders. And the Raiders, Mike Mayock needs to find a way to fucking make him one.
All right.
He needs to be wearing silver, black, and blonde, baby. Straight up. Okay, he's a matinee idol. He's box office, and we're in Las Vegas, and we need box office. Enough with these old half-ass, happenstance, undercard role players and these character actors at quarterback. Okay, we need a Earl Flynn, baby. Okay, we need a Clark Gable. All right, we need a Brad Pitt. Okay, we need a Tom Cruise. We need a box office boy.
The kid
you feel
is
me?
big. He is. He's big, no doubt.
You been checking him out?
I have been checking him out ever since you've been talking about him since he was a fresh person. And here he is.
Trevor, baby!
In the media again, talking about the possibility of leaving the NFL, and he's doing his hints too. Like, I don't know, we'll just have to see how things unfold. I love when they say that. He's learned that. It's like, no, let's wait until see how things really play out. But really, Trevor, you know what you want to do. And I think this would be fantastic. That's a great match. You called it yet again. I could see that happening.
Can't you see it, Raider Nation?
I think they can.
Can't you see it?
I've seen pictures of him in silver and black.
Oh, yeah, people have done that. Yeah, I've got one, too. I was going to bring that out, too. But, again, I was sitting on it, and it ain't been talked about. People ain't thinking like that, other than this cat, that I used to go, me and him talked about it, because I told him about it a year and a half ago, and he was like, the Raiders will never get him. And all that old shit.
But the Raiders have picked up a lot of his teammates. A lot of Clemson players have come here and are now Raiders.
The Giants weren't supposed to have Eli Manning. John Elway was supposed to be a Baltimore coach. Okay, it's happened, in sports, in all four major sports leagues where a mug called their shot. Okay, Wayne Gretzky was never supposed to be traded from the Edmonton Oilers. He was a Los Angeles King.
It happened, though.
Joe Montana ended his career a Kansas City Chief. When we were growing up in the Bay Area, you would have never thought that would have happened.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So anything is possible under God, too. You know what I'm saying? And so I will be at the Baptist Church, the Lutheran Church, the Methodist Church, all the churches in Vegas, the synagogue, Shalom, and we'll be praying my ass off until April that the Raiders will be in the hunt for number 16. Trevor Lawrence. I mean, he's John Elway, and he's Jim Kelly, and he's got the big confidence of a Ben Roethlisberger,
he
reminds me of Todd Marinovich.
Yeah,
if Todd Marinovich would have developed
and been
able to fulfill his promise, okay, they would be probably comparing him to Todd Marinovich now. The body structure, the body language, the California good looks, the kid's a good talker, teammates love him.
And he's
Todd
very
Marinovich was cool as fuck, very steely-eyed. You know, and so Trevor Lawrence,
Yes.
Silver and Black,
All right.
for the Raiders.
I
Keep it in
see
your
it.
heart, keep it in your spirit. All right, put it in your prayers. All right, but yeah, there'll be more on this coming.
Speaking of prayers, Dana Stubblefield,
Uh-oh.
unfortunately,
Uh-oh.
you know, has gotten a 15-year sentence for raping his babysitter, and that's really sad. I remember seeing him in the locker room when he had his like little stint as a Raider, but you know, he's basically a Niner. I mean, that's really,
Yeah, he really
his
is a Niner.
vibe. He's a Niner, but yeah, he's going up for 15. Apparently, he took advantage of a woman that was disabled and incapable of providing consent for sex. Yeah,
I remember seeing something about that. So he's finally gotten convicted.
Yeah, he's finally gotten convicted,
shit,
and at this point, you know, the woman has been avenged for what had happened to her because she's not slow, but she's disabled.
Law enforcement didn't believe her.
Law enforcement didn't believe her in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then when they finally got the proof and they got everything and she had her day in court, she actually was successful and he will be sentenced to 15 years to life.
Well, that's good because one thing I can't stand outside of thieves are rapists and child molester motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And those
No
type of
Jeffrey
cats.
Epstein.
Particularly when, you know, and I'm not going to get into a thing about it, but my idea was always if you're in some profession, and I understand the professionals and the health people and the people that do psychological breakdowns and all that, it's a power thing and all that for some of these guys or whatever. But when it comes to you being cognizant of who you are and you know you're a professional athlete or professional entertainer or whatever, and you're making money and you're in the public eye and you have the world as your oyster, man, there ain't no reason to be taking pussy, man.
Right.
You know, from nobody.
Right.
You know, your big ass got money, man. You can go out and buy you a little freak.
You had a
and
wife.
have her do all of those shit you want. Now, trust
Right.
me, I'm a alpha heterosexual, and I was out there in the nightlife for many years, and I've been, you know, doing music in my other life, and I've been around that vibe. And trust me, there are many women that I have seen that you just go, oh, you know what I'm saying, and what have you, and blah, blah. But, man, you can't have everybody. You know what I'm
Wow,
saying?
Dana.
That's the bottom line. And, you know, and then even if you can have, like people like him do, taking advantage of someone that they can take advantage of, just like, man, that shit is not cool, man.
He fell for it, and whatever was going on with
That's
her,
not cool, man.
I mean, like, honestly,
Like
if
you ain't
you're
even got to do that, man.
no, but you're physically challenged. You have a physical, a disability in a way where you can't stop consent. You definitely probably would have to
But was
be
she even
questioned
know
to be.
consent?
Well, no, that's what they're saying. She didn't know consent, but what was she doing applying for a babysitting job too?
Well, you know that we have lived for the last 30 years with the underprivileged community and the mentally challenged community and those that, you know, have certain, you know, social development, behavior development issues have been more incorporated into society due to Fair Work Act and what have you. Because, you know, when you're kids and we were kids, you know, you don't make fun of, you know, people with special needs problems and stuff like that and what have you. And but they eventually become adults.
Yes, and they need
You
to
know,
work.
and not all of them have family that can take care of themselves.
That's true.
And some of them grow up to be functional enough to go out into society, and they have a right to work.
Yeah.
And they have to take care of themselves. They're human beings too, you know.
Absolutely.
In a lot of ways, government and what have you has failed to be able to compensate and help bridge that gap of their development and having to come out here in the world with all of us that are moving around, you know, and be out here with them is very challenging for people with behavioral and social challenges, you know. But, you know, she was trying, you know, she had to get a job.
I know,
You
but
know?
if you can't stop consent for sex, could you stop someone from like let me hold that baby that you've got right now? You know, what's to stop her from being like, oh sure.
Well, yeah, of course.
You know, it's
yeah,
like
no, of course.
there's
People will
some,
take advantage.
you know,
and he did clearly.
He clearly took
So,
advantage. Yeah,
you know,
he did.
It's its own situation.
I don't know,
but I
yeah.
understand what you said as a societal thing. Like, you know, how do you guard against that? You know,
Right.
people that are underprivileged and people that not underprivileged, people that are challenged. Being taken advantage of, and particularly in a vulnerable position like that. But fuck Daniel Stubblefield and good riddance. You know what I'm saying?
15, dude. That wasn't worth it. No,
it wasn't. Speaking of the NFL, and sticking with the NFL, let's go around the league right quick. Steelers are 5-0, playing big. Stone's boy Ben Roethlisberger out there slanging it. And the Steelers, with a new crop of receivers, are not bullshitting. So they're out there balling out. And, they look like they're going to be the cream of the East so far as we hit the midseason. Antonio Brown, 5
Oh, my gosh. Here he is again.
5-week Raider. Young crack baby.
Yeah.
He signed with the recently departed Buccaneers from Las Vegas. But if he can get his shit together and stay focused, that Tampa team is going to be something to fuck with, though. The way they came in here and with them getting that balance at the run that I wish we had, with Fournette being able to play off of Jones, Gronk's healthy, Evans, when they get O.J. Howard back, should they in the next few weeks,
they're a threat. They can be a threat.
Can't stand Tom Brady and all that bullshit or what have you, but they're tight. Look for the Bucks, if particularly with a deep threat, and they're not faking that they're not going deep.
No,
you know what I'm
and
saying?
Antonio
Brown would definitely contribute to that.
Yeah, he can help them. He could definitely help them.
We also got the Patriots with their third straight loss.
The Patriots going down. Yes, too bad Tom Brady isn't at the helm.
And Cam Newton talking about, my job might be in jeopardy and all this shit.
Well, he got benched, so I mean,
scam. Scam.
And he's an emotional player. He's also somebody that
he's an emotional dresser too.
Well,
what the fuck is them outfits, chicken picking outfits he be wearing, man? Is he going to a lemonade stand?
And Jeff Garcia's 49er ass had the nerve to be like, you should.
Who?
Jeff Garcia was on TV.
The white Mexican?
The white Mexican was talking about Cam Newton. He said the way he dresses, he should really prefer to be in the background. You're dressing really loud and getting a lot of attention put to yourself. Do you really want to do that? And Cam's response was, he's right. Whatever he says is right. I do dress like that. It may be a cultural perspective in terms of how you're seeing me, but you're right. I mean, so he deflected everything.
Jeff Garcia with his residual shit from T.O.? T.O. was a flamboyant dresser, too. Garcia just got a problem with black men with personality.
With flamboyant dressing.
Redhead, white Mexican dude talking shit about the style of brothers that used to run around with some old fake ass champion sweatsuits
and clogs.
He was wearing them. He was wearing clogs, but he was wearing them Crocs. He was one of the first one to wear them.
That's what I'm saying. Clogs.
That's
that's what I meant.
Fuck you, Jeff Garcia.
Saddling up to Steve Young. That was his thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, Cam is going through.
Did he play for us for a minute?
Let's not recall that. But yes, I was not happy to see him in the locker room either.
Good night.
Yeah, Cam is going through it. He got benched and he wants to come back, and maybe one day he will. But for right now, he's struggling and he's emotional. And he's one of those quarterbacks that has to also have a flow and be in a flow.
I was just reading somewhere when you got emotional problems, right? You're talking about different articles about how to handle dealing with COVID and all that, and people have a lot of emotional problems.
Yeah.
They say that a hamster is a nice emotional animal. So you can get you a hat with a hamster wheel on it and with your clothing accessories there, and put a hamster in the wheel, let him run around. He can think for you. Got that shit going on in your brain. Anyway.
Who else? What's up?
The Cardinals, man. The Cardinals with a cat that I've been following for years, even when he was a quarterback at Texas Tech, because I've been a Texas Tech fan for a long time, because I went there
Raiders,
for
Raiders
all of Sneeze back in 1983. I was down there in Lubbock a long time ago. But anyway, Cliff Kingsbury, who set and broke a lot of records down there at Texas Tech back in his day. I had written the Raiders a couple of years ago and was when I did the whole thing with Jack Del Rio, was talking about look out for this guy as a offensive coordinator. And I think this might have been his second or third year at Texas Tech. when I told them about Jack Del Rio. Another one I called. And then
Jack Del Rio
got
became
hired.
a Raider.
Exactly.
Was a Raider, and then also coached as a Raider.
And no, he never played for us. Jack Del Rio didn't play for us.
We'll edit that out.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, Cliff Kingsbury's got the Cardinals playing great. Just loving what they're doing down there with Kyler Murray. Very undersized quarterback, but he's out there slinging the ball too, going deep. Got DeAndre Hopkins from the Texans. He's playing big.
Okay.
Their defense is stout. And so watch for the Cardinals in the NFC West. And I'm just happy for Cliff Kingsbury. I loved his coaching down at Texas Tech the last few years and how he just ain't scared to put the ball up, how he ain't scared to run up points, and how he's looking to, whoop your ass. And that's the type of new mentality of new coaches that are coming in, that the NFL needs, that new infusion. Sean McDermott up in Buffalo is another one.
Okay.
Matt Nagy out in Chicago, even though they lost last night. Of course, Sean McVay down in L.A. These are what I call Madden coaches. They coach like they're from the Madden game.
Right.
They're creative. They're imaginative. They're outside the box. They take chances on fourth down. They're not scared to, throw into the teeth of the defense and really trust their players and what have you. And they're just aggressive.
While you can pass the ball downfield too, do it.
Yeah, and I am applauding.
Do it.
I am applauding the return. Let me applaud the return of the bomb in the National Football League. All of y'all out there, from Texas to Trenton, okay, from Vancouver to Vermont, telling me, Raider Rob, that the bomb and throwing deep and all that is passe in the NFL. From a fan of a team that is the pioneers of that shit, okay? And that's what the AFL was based on when it was founded in 1960. It's known for that. Go watch some old AFL highlights and AFC highlights from 1960s all the way through the fucking mid-90s, and you'll see exactly what's up. I mean, stop it. Stop it. And it's being proven. The bomb works. The long ball will always be the thing, baby. Chicks love the long ball.
Yes, we do.
Just like in baseball.
And go deep.
Deep. How deep? Ankles behind the ankles behind the ears deep.
All that. Whatever it takes.
Knees on the backboard deep, on the headboard deep. You know what I'm saying? The deep ball is the thing, man. And we got to get to that too ourselves. And the team that we're playing this weekend plays the deep ball real well too. Finally, back to the Cardinals. I really like to, and I want to say this to the NFL, as much as I got a problem with y'all, and next year we'll be meeting in court most likely, and you motherfuckers are full of shit in a lot of ways with a lot of shit y'all been doing to the game and what have you. And I'm not as big of an NFL, the whole league, fan as I once was, and I grew up as being 30-something years ago. But I do applaud a part of the game that has always been fun for me and that I've always loved, that we grew up on it being a regular thing, which is the fun celebrations, man.
Yeah.
And it was nice to see in the Cardinal game against Dallas last week that they did a cool little bowling celebration. The Cardinals.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, they all lined up
like pins.
Now, it had been done once before, but the Lions, years ago in the 80s, I think the Lions did it on a Thanksgiving one time. And then they had the Fun Bunch in Washington with Art Monk and all those guys, so it was just nice to see that, man. It was nice to see that the NFL didn't throw a flag on that. And then Chicago tried some celebration the other night that was just terrible, what they tried to do. But it took about 2 minutes to set up and whatever. It seemed like they were in the end zone forever trying to figure it out. It never did come off, but they didn't get flagged for it. Yeah, no flag. So right on NFL for letting a little individuality and a little, entertainment.
A little fun back in.
A little fun.
Because it really become the no fun league.
It really had. Yeah, we lived through it.
Just like there was no passing downfield. Raiders were getting attacked for doing that regularly, so that's why a lot of coaches, like you said, shifted up and wanted to go into this dink and dunk thing.
The West Coast offense.
Yeah, that West Coast offense. But to have that back, it definitely is something worth watching. And I look forward to seeing less flags again. I think the NFL should continue this trend because we need this in order to get excited about the game and what we're going to see. And we want to see the ball downfield. Well, we really do.
A team that's throwing the ball downfield and won on a real spectacular pass from their quarterback Baker Mayfield to win the game. Cleveland this past weekend are the team that we're going to visit on the shores of Lake Erie this coming Sunday. Baker Mayfield, Kareem Hunt, who's back after his suspension and playing balls out for them. Odell Beckham Jr. is out though for the season.
Yes.
Achilles tendon tear, so he will not be there. But Jarvis Landry's there, and they still have some other receivers too. The defense is playing tight. Myles Garrett and the boys are getting after it. Cleveland plays the ball, so I'm really concerned about Carr with the fact that he telegraphs a lot of his passes. And just
don't turn the ball over again this week.
Just not being confident. A lot of times in the plays and what he's doing, and stop patting the ball. Him and this patting the ball, killing time,
right.
And fucking up routes by being unsure.
Right.
Folks
are open.
Yeah, and folks are open. He's got to get a more commanding presence about himself in the pocket. That being said, though, going up against Cleveland, Baker Mayfield, he's had his controversy. Seems like he's kind of winding into being a serviceable guy. And like I said, had a game-winning touchdown coming out of Oklahoma. Very brash kid. Another one, and like I said, these young kids, though, that are coming into the league that are fearless and aren't scared.
Right, they're trying to play.
They're trying to play. They're trying to ball. They're hungry.
Right.
What do you think going into Cleveland?
We've got to make some adjustments at defense. We've got to get our backfield together. We have to be on the attack. And we said this repeatedly, but this is what has to happen in order for us to win this game. We have to show a strong defensive presence on that field, and we've got to be able to turn the ball over on D, and that's going to help build the confidence of the defense.
Got to get turnovers,
and we're going to be able to score off of those. We've got to be able to score off of those, and so regardless, Derek has to be also the key. I mean, whatever's going on mentally with you and the inability for you to focus on your opportunities to score. That you're going to have to shake off in order for us to get through the rest of this season. We need you to be somebody that's determined to win. And with the receivers that we have that are hungry, we have the possibility of pushing 2 tight ends. We haven't been able to really do that yet. We have some great receivers. We have a strong fullback. It's time to go, but the defense has to protect.
And you got to spread that run out, too. I mean, this friggin' 3-hole and 2-hole bullshit, full halfback dives, just ain't working, man. Running into the teeth of the defense, running right into, 5 in the box, 6 in the box. I mean, I love you, Chucky, but yeah, we got to spread out this all. We got to get some pitches. You got to get some sweeps. Pull them big guards and them big tackles.
And
hopefully, this week they've had a full practice. We've had no COVID breakouts so far this week, so everything's been cool. So the team should be healthy. They'll probably leave for Cleveland Friday, and we just. Have got to maximize, like she said, the talent we have on the field and trust them the way you did in the first half of the Buffalo game, the way you did in the first half and all the game against Kansas City that got the win, and the way you did the first half of this previous game. Stick with what works and then broaden it out. Embellish it. The imagination. I see it, Chucky. I know you want to do it. And there is a confluence of uncertainty because how far can I push this quarterback, to make the plays that have to be made. But like she said, on defense, plays have got to be made too. Mr. Gunther has got to adjust. He's got to get this team more aggressive. He's got to get them better at contain and pursuit. And again, 3-3, 500. We're still in it. It's only 6 games in the season, so of course we're still in it. But we need to win this week. We have a schedule that favors us and favors our strengths. We'll get some people back. Hopefully Arnett will be back. Abram will be back. And Mullen's playing good. Mullen's just got to, learn to keep his hands to himself and not be too overly aggressive at times. And, you got to be situational, too, when you're thinking out there on the field that, this is a situation I'm in, but also a situation I am in relation to the refs. Would this be, if I'm too aggressive, a play that they would throw a flag on? What's the circumstance we're in? Okay, they're 3rd and 6.
What situation
they just threw a flag 2 plays ago on something that, we in the huddle thinking some bullshit. Okay, are they prone to do it again? And you guys have got to play smarter, man. You got to play smarter, got to play more discipline.
You can do it.
You can do it. But anyway, going into Cleveland Sunday, playing Baker Mayfield and Kareem Hunt and the Cleveland Browns. This should be an interesting game for us. It's a pivotal game. We're 500, so we want to get over 500, stay 4-3, and stay on a positive trajectory to making a push towards the playoffs and the end of the season. Okay, so that's what's going on here in Las Vegas. Again, UNLV, they're opening up Allegiant Stadium. It'll be the first time to be some fans in the stadium. So if you're in town, get you a ticket and go check them out. No can fan, real Rebel fan, Rebel Yell, baby. And of course, like and subscribe to us, Raider Fan Radio Vegas. Text us. Email us with your questions, comments, criticisms, all of that at True Raider Nation at Yahoo and RaiderFanRadio at Gmail. Stone will be back next show. And all of you out there, love you, got your back always, man. And you just stick and stay. Okay? Raider Nation, peace to you. And we'll see you next time.
Stay Raider.